Hey guys, welcome to the Creative Arena. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a simple product card with a hover effect like a pro. So at the end of this tutorial, we're going to create something that looks like this, and then when you hover, you have this wonderful effect with this buy button here, and you have this wonderful transition effect, as you can see. And it is responsive on all devices, which you can check it out here. You can see it on tablet. This is how it looks like on tablet. And then we'll come over to mobile. As you can see, it looks wonderful on mobile as well. Okay, so without further delay, let's dive in and get started. In our Elementor editing screen, what I'll do here is I'll click on this plus icon here and select the Flexbox container. Then I'll select this structure here. I'll come over here for the content width. I'm going to set it to full width, and the minimum height, I'll change the unit from pixel to VH and give it a value of 100. Then I'll justify content to the center and align item to the center, and I will set the content wrap to wrap. And then I'm going to come over to our element, and I'll drag another container and drop it here. Now for reference purposes, I'm going to rename these containers here. First container, I'll call it the parent container. And for this container here, I'm going to call it our card container. Okay, so now for the card container, I'm going to set the content width to full width. And then for the width, I'll change the unit from percentage to pixel and give it a value of 300 and a minimum height value of 400. Then I'll come over, justify content to the center and align item to the center. And then I'll come down to where we'll have the additional options. And for the overflow here, I'm going to set the overflow to hidden. Then I'll go to the style option. For the background type, I'll set it to classic and then give it a background color of black. Then I'll come down here to where we'll have the border, give it a border radius of 20 pixels. So we now have something that looks like this. Okay. So now the next thing I'll do here is I'll just click on this plus icon here and drag the image widget and drop it here. Then I'll come over here to our media library where I'll select an image that we'll be using. So we could. So I'm going to select this image here. Okay. Then what I'm going to do next, I'll come back to our elements and then drag the heading widget and drop it right above the image. Now for the heading text, I'm just going to call this text sneakers. And then I'll come over here to the style option, and then for the typography, I'm going to leave the font family as is, and then for this font size, I'm going to change the unit from pixel to rem and then give it a value of 1.5. Then I'll come over to where we have the color and I'll set the color to white. Okay, then I'll go to the advanced settings, come down to the position and set the position to absolute. Now for the horizontal orientation offset, I'm going to set it to empty. And then for the vertical orientation offset, I'm going to give it a value of 25. Then I'll come over to our elements and then drag the button widget and drop it right below the image. Now for the button text, I'll change it to by now. Then I'll go to the style option and tweak it a little bit. For the typography, I'll come over here, leave the font family and the font size as is, but for the weight, I'm going to set the weight to 500 medium. Then I'll come over to the text color, set it to black. For the background color, I'll set it to white. Then for the border radius, I'm going to give it a value of 6 pixels. So we now have something that looks like this. Then finally, on the button, I'm going to go to the advanced settings and count down to where we have the width, and then set it to custom and give it a value of 50%. Okay, so now that we're done doing all this, the next thing I'm going to do here is I'll just come over here to where we have the card container and then go to the advanced settings for the card container and then come down to where we have the CSS class, and I'm going to give it a CSS class value of card. Okay, now that I've done that, the final step is for me to add our code. So now I'll head over to our VS Code editor. We have already written down the code that we'll be using. Now, not to worry about this code, it will be made available on the comment section of this video where you can copy it and make use of it for free on your website. So I'm just going to copy this out and then come back here. Then go to our parent container here, come over to the advanced settings and come down here to where we have the custom CSS. Mind you, this feature is only available on the Elementor Pro. If you do not have the Elementor Pro, there's a link in the description of this video where you can get the Elementor Pro. So what I'm going to do here is just paste our code. Now you can see our effect has taken place. Now you can either leave this black background color for the card, or we can just come over here. Let's just test it out and so you see. You can leave it like this if you like what you see, or better still, you can come over here, come over to the card, go to the style option, and for the background color, we can just change the background color to white. So we now have this. Okay, so now when you hover, you have this wonderful effect. Take the cursor away, and then when you hover, you have this button here. It's clickable. So now what we can do here now is we can just toggle this and then duplicate the card, duplicate it again. Now I have 3 cards, and then we can come over here for this first card here. We can just change the image here to this headset, and then we can come over to the heading text. We can just call it Sunny headset, and then we can just copy this out, come over to this third card here, and then we're going to do the same, change the text here to Sunny headset, and then we're going to change the image to another Sunny headset. Rather, maybe we'll select this one here. Okay, so now we now have 3 different images, as you can see, and when you hover, you now have this effect here. Okay, and when you hover here, you won't see the button because we are still on our Elementor editing screen. So I'm just going to publish this here so we see it on our live web page. So I just click on this to preview changes, and then we can come over here. You can see the effect, sneakers, and this as well. So this is a wonderful effect that you can use on your website. So now we're going to go back to our editor, and we can check for the responsiveness to see on tablet. This is what we have on tablet. Works pretty well on tablet, as you can see. On mobile, it works well also on mobile. Okay, so now I'm just going to go back here to where we have the code, and I'll explain it briefly for you how you can tweak it. So we'll come over here to the custom CSS. Now there is this section here called the root, where we'll have this background color. Now I made it easy for you so that if you want to change this yellow color here to whatever color that will suit whatever project you have going on for you, all you just need to do is to come over here and change the color here. So we can change the color to, let's say, to red. You can see, you know, I have this, and I have this, and then we can come over here and let's publish it here, and we can see it on our live website. So you can see when you hover. So that's pretty much it about this tutorial. So if you've learned something new from this tutorial, please remember to give this video a thumbs up, and if you're new to our channel, remember to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you get notified first when next I drop a new video. And feel free to drop your comment wherever you have a suggestion or question, and I'll do well to attend to as much as I can. But until then, see you in our next video. Bye bye.